improvements in power generation and supply. That is what the part of it has been partnership with the
In 2015, all United Nations member states adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which outlines a blueprint to address global challenges across a broad range of themes, including poverty, health, education, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. The Goal 4 of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, otherwise referred to as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, seeks to ensure inclusive and quality education and promotes lifelong learning opportunities for all. Unfortunately, an approximated 263 million children remain out of school around the world. This number includes children who never started formal schooling and children who started school but later dropped out. About 10 million out of the 18.3 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, with the northern part of the country has a greater percentage, were said to have been forced out of school as a result of insecurity and insurgency, a report has shown. A 2021 report issued by National Policy on Safety, Security and Violence-Free Schools also indicated that between 2012 and 2016, more than 600 teachers were killed in attacks, while more than 19,000 were displaced by terrorists and bandits. These facts are coming against the backdrop of a recent United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF account, which stated that Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world, with 1 out of 3 children in the country is estimated to be out of school. In the Nigerian context, out-of-school children are prevalent in both rural and urban settings, but rural areas and isolated or deprived areas in general consistently show higher numbers of out-of-school children. This situation is of concern to the federal government of Nigeria, as noted in the Nigeria Education Ministerial Plan 2018 to 2022, which outlines several strategies targeted at bringing children back to school. In spite of these strategies, the number of out-of-school children remains significantly high. This edition of Dateline aims to provide an overview of the most recent data on out-of-school children in Nigeria and the housing security crisis, including breakdowns by socio-economic and other demographic indicators. I'm Joyce Onsu. See you after this short break.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
Welcome back. Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. That's according to a UNICEF report of 2018. It is estimated that 1 in every 5 out-of-school children around the globe is in Nigeria, even though basic education is legally free and compulsory in the country. About 10.5 million children aged 5 to 14 years are out of school. About 50% of these children live in the northern region, known to be severely affected by the Boko Haram insurgency. In addition, only 61% of children between the ages of 6 to 11 years attend primary school regularly. These are a number of factors that contribute to the incidence of out-of-school children recorded across low and middle-income countries like Nigeria. They include, but are not limited to, early child marriage, economic barriers, conflict, social-cultural norms, and lack of inclusive policies or practices in schools. However, these factors or barriers can be categorized into two, namely demand and supply barriers. These barriers could lead to one or all of these situations. Firstly, delayed enrollment of an eligible school-age child. 2, a child who will never attend school. Thirdly, a child who will attend school but later drop out. Now, the first demand barriers would include, is considered to be the decision, made by household members. This affects a child's access to quality education. Now, there are several factors that could affect the demand for education. Some of these factors include early child marriage, low household income, child labor, religion, culture. Secondly, the supply rationale connotes that schools are the key drivers of education access, quality, and retention. Supply barriers that could potentially affect a child's access to education include, but are not limited to, lack of infrastructure, conflict and insecurity, lack of qualified teachers, language of instruction, and distance to school. That said, it is vital to also examine the growing crisis of out-of-school children in Nigeria due to increasing appeal of young people to crime over education. With over 10 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, you agree that the lack of access to education for young people is leading to an increasing rate of crime, which threatens national security and development. When such times when out-of-school children turn to the streets, where they become tools for criminals and ready recruits for insurgents and terrorist organizations. The situation complicates the security challenges in Nigeria, thereby challenging the traditional belief that education provides opportunities for creating wealth. Without formal education, out-of-school children have limited opportunities for gainful employment and face high unemployment. These can lead to frustration and desperation, making them susceptible to joining criminal activities for income or to feel powerful. Lack of skills make it difficult for them to secure jobs or to start their own businesses, further fueling the cycle of poverty and crime. We shine our light on the age-long out-of-school children problem in Nigeria. After the break, I will be conversing with someone who has a lot to say on our focus. Do well to stay tuned.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
Welcome again. Taking us further with useful insight and expertise is the coordinator, Inspire Education, Mr. Alfa Enejoh. Thank you so much for coming on Dateline.
Thank you for having me.
All right, sir. So I would like to start, first of all, how would you describe the state of out-of-school children around the world?
You know, this alarming, and the trend is not helping the world. It's impacting negatively around the world taking into perspective our own country, the out-of-school children is contributing to some of the vices, criminal tendency we are seeing around the world and Nigeria.
Okay, in 2024, according to a UNICEF report, Nigeria had the highest number of out-of-school children. Has this data changed? Also, give us an overview on the most recent data on out-of-school children. What is the fate of the ordinary Nigerian child?
You know, there are conflicting figures around the country because some of the stakeholders who try to bring out a lot of data, the government agencies are not okay with those data. Like if you go to the Ministry of Education, they will tell you that they have reduced the number from 20
million to 18.3 million.
No, they said some of them say 10 million. Some like UBEC will tell you they have reduced to 8 million and thereabout. But due to the hardship in the country, let's take Abuja for instance, or even northern part of the country, millions of people, or hundreds of people have thrown into poverty, which one major factor that is contributing to out-of-school children is poverty. Because if you cannot feed your family, how will you send them to school? And most school today is commercial. So it's only in the paper that we hear that education is free.
And compulsory.
And compulsory.
But if are you saying education is not free in some states?
Totally
what
not
if it
free.
was free? If education was free, would it actually reduce or help to curb?
If government they are very serious about it, you know, it is not a rocket science. It is achievable. It is what we can do and achieve it if we are serious about it. Let's take for instance, the primary education and secondary education is a sole responsibility of local and state government. Federal government have tried their best. They have rolled out a lot of policy, budgetary and allocation, and even attracting a lot of international donation or whatever. So, but
Support.
the local and states are not complementing the government, federal government efforts, because the primary responsibility of giving primary education to our children, it lies in the hands of a local government. But since the local government has been hijacked, so the allocation has been taken off from local government, so the issue of primary education is dead in local rural areas. So we are appealing to the states and local government. They have to take their job very seriously. So that is the solution.
Okay, so let's look at other strategic policies for strengthening the educational system in Nigeria over crime. You know, let's look at how, what are the strategic moves you would advise government to put forth to secure the future of our country?
The strategic move is, if they say the head is rotting, it equally affects the body. So the bottom line or the advice I will give is to advise the I appreciate the federal government by making sure that local government have their financial autonomy, which is very, very good. But how are they sure that these state governors are adhering to this instruction or declaration from Supreme Court? Like I've earlier said, it is not a rocket science. If when we were younger going to school, primary school were functioning very well. Most of us went to village schools. We have, in my primary day, I have close to 15 to 20 teachers. But if you go to primary school where I finished from now, there is no even single building there. Not to even talk of teachers. You could be headmaster and one teacher handling the whole children. So it's equally, it's not even encouraging people to send their children to school, because infrastructure is not there, and teacher are not there. So we advise that you know, if you look at one thing about Nigeria is we are good in policy making. We are good in policy making. If you go to UBEC now, if you go Federal Ministry of Education, they have a department that is strictly for out of school children. World Bank is spending billions of dollars annually. Is it a Global Partnership for Education? Global Citizen? They are spending millions of dollars on these out of school children, yet
you are not feeling the impact.
You are not feeling the impact. So it is not the policy. We have a lot of different policies. Like I told you, if you go to Ministry of Education, they have a department that is handling this aspect. You have a UBEC. UBEC is there. There is a fund in UBEC that state government need to pay their counterpart fund and assess the money. But most of them wouldn't want to go and throw their money in, so that they will collect the grant that federal government is given to states.
So what should be done?
What should be done is our mindset. Nigeria is good in policy making. We have in the all over the world. There is nowhere they have policies like Nigeria. But the people who are
meant to implement
it are the major challenge. We, me, you, everybody is the challenge. The mindset. Everybody is ready to steal and steal and steal and don't look back. That is just the problem that we need to tell ourselves the truth.
Okay, so poor infrastructure and security is often associated with a high rate of out-of-school children. How do you think this narrative can be changed?
Yeah, it's very simple. I will equally still try to complement to what I have been saying, that the local government and state government, they are not doing enough. There is outcry all over the television, all over all media houses. If you go to National Assembly, this out-of-school children is being discussed on daily basis. If you go to international organization, out-of-school children of Nigeria particularly is being discussed every day.
Because we have the highest number.
Now we have the highest number. So now, what is needed of us to do is to put infrastructure on ground. Number one, while trying to put infrastructure on ground, you will equally take a lot of people from the streets to be engaged. While constructing schools and different things, they will be engaged. It will equally reduce crime. Number two, when you bring those people, because education is very, very key to every individual's life. So when people does not have education, and that is why when you go to part of the north, they are vexed those children that does not know they are left from right, and be convinced that if you do this, if you can do this, you would get this. But when you have education, definitely nobody will come and tell you what you know that is the right thing to do. So infrastructure is very, very key, because it helps build the educational sector, and it equally helps attract people to come to school. When they see a very good building edifice, and they will want to go to school. And number two, like this schools feeding program that the federal government is doing, is another opportunity that will attract children to, because as far as there is feeding, there is food. They hear that there is food in the school, definitely they will be attracted to come to school. So these are part of the thing that we encourage. I so much want to put or appeal to our state government, state government. If you want to put 100% blame, state government have 90% blame, because federal government is doing what they could through UBEC, through a lot of subvention or whatever facility they give to the state. but the states are not implementing them. That is just, I have gone around more than 10 states trying to assess the infrastructure of various schools, which, if you look at it, it is this responsibility. Like if you go around Abuja here, go around the whole primary school, and I've heard the Minister of FCT talking about he cannot come and build primary school infrastructure. That is the responsibility of a local government. That what are local government chairmen doing with the money given to them? That what is the responsibility of FCT or FCDA is to build, rebuild the infrastructure in secondary school, which is the responsibility of the FCDA. But the primary responsibility of local government is primary education. So we are appealing to the states, because since 1999, the allocation of local government has been hijacked. They handpick whoever they want to become a local government chairman. So these are the issues.
Okay. Now, sometimes I wonder if all of this 18.3, the current data says we have around 18.3 children out of school children in Nigeria. If they all decided to want to go to school today, would Nigeria be ready? I don't think the answer is yes.
I can tell you categorically, even if it is half of that numbers that have decided, okay, we are going to school, the Nigerian state is not ready to absorb those children.
Now, which states in Nigeria are the worst hit states, and what can government do to overcome these barriers?
The worst hit of these out-of-school children, it's like KB have the highest number. Like Kano have tried to reduce their number because they have brought a lot of policy that any child they see roaming the streets will be arrested or taken to his parent to arrest the parent as well. So why are the children not going to school? So for that reason, you know, one thing about these out-of-school children we are talking about, you know, the North have the highest number. If you go to the North, they have a culture that if a male child, you understand, is being given birth to, after some years, they will go and throw the child in a far place that the child could not even come back, and they will not go to look for the child. They will go and keep them in Islamic school. And these children don't have anybody to feed them. So the best for them is for them to go to street and start looking for food. And the malams itself, they use them to make money as well. Because I have interacted with them, some of them, they go to beg. That's why I see them begging for money on the road. Those money they are collecting on the road, they dare not touch it. They have to return it back to the malam. So it is an opportunity, an avenue for them to make money. So I think KB have the highest number, followed by is it Kano or Katsina. So I think the state government have to buckle up and see what they can do.
You said something about the northern states being the worst hit, and currently this month is the month for Ramadan fasting, and it's on the news, it's all over the news that there are some states in the north where kids are not attending school for now. They've been asked to sit at home. And you just wonder, because in Qatar, in other parts of the world where they also practice Islam, they go to school. So why are we having a change of narrative down here in Nigeria?
It's not about religion.
Okay.
You understand? It is the criminal tendency in us that is contributing to those things. Asking children to stay behind because of Ramadan. The question I will equally ask, are those children even fasting? The children they are asking to stay behind, are they fasting?
Some are. I know a couple of young
But majority of them are not fasting. How can you Do they force a child of 7, 8 years or thereabout to fast?
No, a couple of them that have been indoctrinated will certainly fast, because I have a
So,
friend whose son is around that age. He may probably skip some days, but he will do it.
but their education shouldn't be tampered with.
No,
Now,
certainly he goes to
yes,
school.
their education shouldn't be tampered with. The same people that are given instruction or declaring educational free day throughout the Ramadan, are their children not going to school? Their children, they are in a private school in Abuja here.
So those are questions for parents in the north whose children are currently at home. Those are the questions
They have to speak
ponder
up.
on.
Because if you ask the governor who declares his own children, are they not going to school? They should ask those governors. Their family are in Abuja here. Why their children are going to school? Do they tell their school that their children are not coming to school? The answer is no. But when they go back to their state, they give instruction just to appeal to their people they are promoting a religion or whatever. To me, it's not the best practice.
Okay, thank you so much so far for your thoughts, Mr. Alfa Enejoh. He's the coordinator, Inspire Education, and we'll be looking at out-of-school children in Nigeria, the housing security crisis as well, what to do to change the narrative we've been talking about, suggestions and possible interventions. We'll take a break now. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. It's Dateline, and we're still talking out of school children in Nigeria and the housing security crisis. And doing just well has been or is Alfa Enejoh with Inspire Education. Now, I'd like to ask, so far, out of school children is key priority to Inspire Education. Tell us about what you've been doing so far. Do you have volunteers who work for you? Because I know some people, you know, probably would want to help change the narrative or tackle this situation. They want to sponsor some children, but they really don't know how to go about it.
You know, thank you very much. You know, Inspire Education is born out of my personal experience because going to school was a difficult challenge for me. Not that I don't have parents, but they did not much prioritize education. But because education was so dear to my heart, I have to pursue it rigorously with all my strengths. That is how I was able to go to school, and that is how I came up with this Inspire Education Network, because of what I've passed through. So I need to inspire others.
Do you have volunteers?
We have volunteers. We have numerous volunteers. So we have up to 10 to 15 volunteers in different states that are helping us collecting those data or number of children that will give our numerous support to. So far, so good. For the past 3 years, we have been operating, so we have been able to enroll over 1,000 pupils. So in FCT, Kogi State, and Nasarawa State. So currently, we are going into partnership with Karo local government that we want to take in the next academic session by September. So we want to take up to 2,000 children from the streets and enroll them into school. So we are trying to bring a lot of stakeholders to see how we can achieve it in September.
All right, so let's talk about the budgetary allocation to education. Do you think it is sufficient?
It is not sufficient. It is not sufficient because the money the federal government and states, if you look at all the budget of the federal governments, education and health take the least. So, and I will always emphasize, if you want to compare with those countries that are doing well, they invest heavily in education. Take China, for instance. You know, we're in the same level with China and India.
At what point? In terms of population?
No,
Certainly.
not population. In terms of economic, we're third world country before.
Okay.
Both of us, China, around 15, no, 10 years behind. Nobody knows anything about China.
And one strength,
So
you would
now,
agree with me, they have is the technological infrastructure. Because I'm going to get to that question, whereby government should also start thinking about solving this problem, you know, through technological infrastructure. If we have gadgets, you know, in the rural areas, take those gadgets, or we have big screens, and then some of the children come to maybe a general village square and you have an instructor, maybe that could actually tackle, you know, this situation.
The bottom line is investments. Government need to invest heavily. The technology you are talking about is investment. You don't just come and say technology, oh yeah, come. No, you have to invest into it. When you invest, people do research, try to collect the resources and put those things together. So, and before those people could do that, then first of all need to have education. And that is why we are talking of government investing heavily into education. So when you invest into education, definitely you get back what you have invested into it. And in curbing crime, you will engage a lot of youth into the investment. Because as you are putting investment, you are just putting it for putting sake. Definitely you have to bring people in, which are the youth. So these are the things. So the government, the allocation we are having currently is too poor to education. If you are bringing money that is low and there is corruption in it as well, so tell me how much will be left for the project. If you budget 1 billion for so hardly 500 will get into the projects. So we need more money into education. And number two, we need people that have education at heart. People that have feeling for education, bring them in. People that are not corrupt, bring them in. There are a lot of people who are ready to work for Nigeria, but the system doesn't allow them to work. Even the little we are claiming they are still poor, people have taken it away. Go to various building infrastructure they are putting. They will budget that 20 to 30 million is going to build a 6 classroom structure. By the end of the structure, the whole building, everything will collapse because of poor jobs being done. So we need a good budget, and we need to curb corruption as well in the system. So these are the two major factors that is affecting the educational sector.
All right, so let's, as we round off, let's just get to your call to action.
There are a lot of misplaced priority. You know, according to Pa Awolowo, he said the children of the poor that you refuse to give education today will not allow your children to breathe tomorrow. And that is what is happening today. If you think other people's children is none of your business, it will be your business today when they come knocking at your door that you bring all your property or kidnapping you and what. This is what you are seeing on the streets. Because people refuse to take other people's children responsibility. So we need individual support. We need a community support as well. We need a corporate organization support, and at the end, the federal government. They have to wake up. We know they are making a lot of effort, but their effort need to be double, so that these needs of out-of-school children have to be reduced to barest minimum.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts. Some insightful thoughts there. Thank you for coming on Dateline.
Thank you very
And
much.
keep up the good work that you're doing at Inspire Education.
Thank you very much.
Education, like you've heard, is a fundamental human right, a critical driver for economic advancement and powerful tool for poverty reduction. Hence, no child of school age should be denied access to quality and equitable education and an opportunity to acquire skills that guarantee future employability and long-term earning. Many thanks for staying with us. Kindly download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Follow us on all social media platforms at Housing TV Africa. I am Joyce Sumosu. Thanks for watching.
Improvements in power generation and supply. That is what we want to know. And to be partnership with the
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.